Hello. Hello. Hi. How you doing? I'm just kidding. What's good though? My name's Mike. I don't really know how to start this. This is probably gonna be like a train wreck, but we're here. So fuck it. My hair looks like trash with this light glowing through it, but we're gonna go with the haze for now because I don't feel like changing the setup. And I'm not living like this, so no, we're gonna leave it up here. But basically, this is where the rubber meets the road. What it is my lonely ass down here talking into my computer in the basement of my house because I'm quarantined and I got 4 fucking kids upstairs. And I'm weird as fuck about leaving my house. So I'm protecting my own. Right here is my sovereign area. It's not really sovereign when the kids are awake. But right now, well, since everyone's asleep, sovereign as a muff down here. Just me, myself, and my thoughts. And I'm usually just up, like, thinking to myself about how the stuff that I be saying with my homies would be hilarious as fuck on a podcast. So now we're going to see if I have enough personality to carry it with myself. Carry it by myself. For myself. Whatever. I'm doing it though. You know what I'm saying? My name's Mike. I'm located in the Midwest. Somewhat educated dude. Talk kind of proper, I guess, and all that stuff. I have a bit of an eclectic, eccentric personality, but also like super loving, caring. I don't know. I'm like weird. I'm a little bit of everything, it seems. I don't know how this is gonna go. We're just gonna like hit the ground running, basically, because we're gonna make the rubber meet the road. Why did I decide to do a podcast? I'm like 30 years old. I've always liked to talk. I wanted to be like a public speaker and whatnot. I really like connecting with people and having like a great dialogue that like spurs thought, I guess, whether I'm right or wrong. I love being proved wrong. I love being proven wrong. Yeah. But I guess that's the nerdy side of my brain. I don't like to be wrong. So as I find information, I assimilate it, and then when I'm wrong, I can easily admit it and then take the good information from what was just proving me wrong. And like that's what I like. So oh, excuse me, that was probably disgusting. If I say anything that offends you, I'm sorry that you're offended. We can talk about it though. Like, I'm not trying to say anything maliciously to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm really just trying to like convey how I feel, who I am, and whatnot, and like spur a safer dialogue. Like, I want it to be a safe space where the rubber meets the road. I know that like everything's gonna become the way it is, but I would really like it if you guys were like as chill as possible to each other in the comments. Like, amicable discussion, debate. Like, I'm all into debate. Me and my homies used to be up to like 3 a.m. debating. Like, it's kind of what I wanted to turn into a podcast. But that's neither here nor there. But man, I didn't really know where to start. I guess like why now? Out of like everything that's going on, there's like this. I don't know, I guess I would call it like a weird void on compassion and logic that people seem to be missing. Like, everyone has a story, everyone has a plight, everyone has an origin, but don't weaponize those things to be demonstrative to another group of people. Which I'm gonna elaborate more on like way later. But like I guess more of the more urgent topic of which I would like to start my first ever podcast with would be around the topic of like loss and compassion. So like right now, people are experiencing loss in a very real way. It's like we're having a wartime amount of deaths every day. These are tragedies that are catastrophic. Now, in retrospect, some people say that the numbers don't mitigate that bad of a response from the population because not everyone is going to die, or not a vast number of people are going to die. Most of us will survive. That is very true. But I will caution everyone into saying that it doesn't take 3,000 people to die for you to be affected. It only takes one. And it just has to be the wrong person. If it's your grandparent, your child, it's not that all children are fine. It's not that all people that are 30 are fine. It's not like that. That's just not the way sickness goes. Majority of the people will be die will be old and have like previous underlying conditions. But that doesn't mean that there's not the anomalies of like random people that are going to fall ill and die to the sickness. So you don't want anyone in your family to be that one. Like, it doesn't take 1,000. It's just one. Loss affects everyone differently, of course, but I don't know. I've lost 2 children in my lifetime, not to like a pandemic or anything, but just loss all the same. When you lose someone in a manner in which you feel like they were stolen from you or taken away too early, or that it was preventable, there's so much baggage that comes with that I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I don't know what other people do to get through things like that. I don't think I've ever dealt with loss well, but I've always been able to keep moving. So I can deal with like right now, always. Like, okay, cool. I like have to do what right now? Like, this is what I need to do, so that's what I do. But yeah. So as far as loss goes, it's a very traumatic experience when you lose somebody in an adverse way that you were not expecting to lose them. Like, everyone's life has been completely upended. So it like completely sucks. I also completely empathize with everyone that is stuck in the house and like upset about being stuck in the house. I have been in the house like crazy, so I get it. And luckily, my job is union, so that's what like protected me from, insulated me from a lot of the stresses that other Americans are going through. But I don't feel that I should be blind to other people's plights just because my family is currently all right. Like, before I had the job that I have, I struggled. I remember that life. So I feel like, and I will always remember that aside from landing the job that I landed, my life was completely different before then. So the abilities to put food on the table, the ability to protect your children, the ability to tell your wife that it's got to be all right is like very big. The ability to be able to own your own business and take care of all those things. Like, I always wanted to own my own business. If I would have started my business and now be in the risk of losing it because of everything that's going on, I would feel a type of way. So I understand the entrepreneurs that are like vastly upset about the way everything's going on. But I would caution people from being upset about the wrong type of things. If we want to learn anything, it's that the best way to get everything back open would be to mask up and follow regulations. If you look at the countries that did all right, or maybe just the country, like New Zealand, I guess, they had like super crazy ass wartime martial law rules. You couldn't do a goddamn thing, and they didn't let nobody do nothing. But they've only had 25 deaths. Everyone was compliant. Their leader was straightforward with what was going on and what they expected of the people, and they handled it as a country. Then they opened back up, was kicking it. I think they saw like one person get sick, and they shut everything back down again until they got that shit under control, because they actually cared about getting things under control. Now, at the same time, those countries' governments and that country's government took care of its people, because that's what you're supposed to do. The fact that we live in the most secure country, developed country, greatest country in the world, richest nation in the world, all that shit, and that they can't fucking pay people. We got $1,200 for this whole time that we've been off is ridiculous. People are starving, and that is crazy. Crazy. The messaging from the top was ridiculous and inconsistent at first, because there was no clear and concise message. There were experts saying one thing, and then what a lot of people have as a trusted elected official, the strongest person in the world, saying something completely different, which is like still flabbergasting to this day, especially in hindsight. At that moment, it's like, all right, cool, whatever, believe whoever you want, I guess, but I would go with this the scientists and experts. But in hindsight, it's egregious that anyone could mishandle their position that whimsically. It's just disgusting. Like, I captained my ship at home aside from what was going on and being said around this entire world. The reason my children haven't been out is because I was like, well, I don't know if it's very real or not. This is me talking in like February when all the reports are coming out. I'm like, man, I don't know what they're trying to do. I grew up reading all types of conspiracies that ended up being real, whether it's the COINTELPRO on the Black Panthers and other stuff like that, or just a whole bunch of stuff like that. So I got books on all that stuff, so you check that stuff out. It's like, dang, that stuff's crazy. Or the FBI's like war on like John Potash books and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, behold a pale horse. Like, all right, cool, I've read these types of books, so I get it. Kennedy assassination, like the stuff that everyone like was a conspiracy theory about, so I understand. But that stuff just blew my mind, that people would not. So I watched everything that happened. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a minute. But and I'll probably do that a lot throughout the like course of this show and every show. But I was understanding that dang, what was I saying? I lost it again. I shouldn't have explained why I lost it. I was about to say something. That sucks. I'm really upset that I lost that. I'm just gonna go to the next topic. And when I rewatch this, I'm gonna like come back to this topic and do it on the next episode, right? Because I'll know what I was talking about. Alright, so we'll leave love, or we'll leave lost. And we'll go to the holidays. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Kwanzaa. I believe it's like the second day of Hanukkah, third day of Hanukkah right now. I might be lying. I don't even know what the date is, and you won't know either. You're just going to see this posted one day, so that's what's going to happen. But it's the second or third day of Hanukkah, so I would have been watching the Rugrats special like 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But 24 years ago probably. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm a really caring, compassionate guy. So holidays, I'm really just trying to bring people together. I see some people are mad that people are saying happy holidays. Some people only want you to say Merry Christmas. I'm like, look, bro, like everyone's going to say what they say, but at the end of the day, don't let it ruin your holiday. I don't know if you want people to say Merry Christmas because you celebrate Christmas, but if they don't celebrate Christmas, would you want them to say Happy Holidays back to you? Or would you want them to say Happy Kwanzaa in response to your Merry Christmas? Because it's like, which one do you feel better about? Because each person is trying to find a way to make it cool for the other. They're not trying to be rude to you by saying Happy Holidays per se. I think they're trying to just say Happy Holidays rather than Merry Christmas, kind of like you don't want to say Kwanzaa. I get it. Or Hanukkah, because it's just not what you're celebrating. So they're like, I'm just saying what I'm celebrating. Like, we're all celebrating the same time of year. Why do I have to say the same thing that you're saying? Because it's just a greeting in passing. It's like, if I say hello and you say what's up, should I say, nah, man, you should say hello to me? Hello. But nah, it's like, yo, bro, like, what's up, what's good, what's cracking, what's popping, whatever. It's like, as long as should we be pompous enough to say that I want to hear these certain things uttered from you, or is it that I'm trying to receive what you're trying to give me with those words? It's trying to give you a greeting, a salutation, a love, like some sort of camaraderie as you're just walking past some random human being. You're like, oh, let me say something cheerful to them. So I guess we should try not to take those moments and lose the intent, because I don't think anyone's trying to be rude by saying Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or Kwanzaa, or that they're trying to discourage you when they say it. Well, I can't say anyone, because some people might be, because there's fringes of everywhere. But I don't know. Most of all, I was telling my kids earlier today, I was like, do unto others as you would like do unto yourself. Like, if you got that cracking, there's not like too much you're gonna bump into, for real. Like, why would I do something to somebody that I wouldn't want someone to do to me? I could think of a reason. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But that's funny. Alright. I don't know how real I'm gonna get on this podcast, because I don't know if I'm gonna crack that joke. Oh man, if someone says it in the comments, I'll definitely be like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, yeah, I'm not, but I'll do that. I'm drinking wine. This is just like my normal like personality. I'm not tipsy, I'm not drunk, I'm not anything. This was my first glass of wine. I usually won't have more than like 2. I haven't been drunk in like 5 years or something like that, since the Royals went to the World Series, the ALCS, when we came back and beat the Blue Jays. That game, I drank way too much, and it was the day that I decided I was done drinking and getting drunk, and I have not got drunk since. Like, I was wilding that day, but I had a great time with my friend. But yeah, like started drinking when I was like really young, and I drank all the way up until 2015 when I quit, and I feel way better now. It's like way cool. So, not that I take away from anyone else drinking, because I still drink, but I haven't been drunk. So I guess that's what I mean. I haven't been drunk. I will have a glass of wine like a grown man, or a beer, probably a cerveza, as they would say. Um, Cerveza. Or I'll drink a margarita too with strawberries on it. Yarramindo. Yeah, I'm not really big on alcohol. 420 friendly though. Fucks with that shit. Medicinally, it's whatever. As long as you're responsible with all your shit. You know what I mean? I make music. I'm a hip hop artist. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Speaking of that, like fucking big body merch, fucking the epitome and Amir Wang got merch, big body merch, powered by Psych. Go to like psych.com, buy that shit. That's Psych with that Y, SYKE. Big body merch. Psych got all types of shit on there too. Shout out to Nikki Hall, all the homies and shit. The homie Zeke just put out some crazy ass song called "I'm Fucking Up Your Lipstick," something like that. It's it's funny as fuck. So yeah, you could like peep that shit. But other than that, he does like real serious raps as well. Fucking dang, did I just get real like calm and different when I started talking about my friends? That's hilarious. I'm gonna listen to the tone of the podcast change when I start talking about hip hop artists. Like, oh, he just switched into a completely different guy after he was talking about love and loss. Man, hold up. I'm about to skip all these topics. We're about to jump straight down to like new music, even though I kind of already did that. But so like I like industry music. I always loved underground music. Like I grew up listening to fucking dang, I didn't mean to cuss, but anyways, I grew up listening to like Mac Dre. Well, as I got older, I started listening to Mac Dre. I grew up listening to whatever I could find, so it would be like stuff on the radio. I remember I made my mom buy me the Dogfather CD, and we got it at Blockbuster. Shows you how old I am. And it was the Dogfather CD by Snoop Dogg. My mom had heard the song on the radio, so she let me get it. It had a parental advisory sticker on it. She didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant either. I was 9. So I like get home, excited to have the CD. I throw that mug in the disc player and like turn it on, and they're like, man, this is another 9-inch dick classic. And like my mom was in my room for some reason. I don't know why I turned that CD. That's how naive I was. I don't know why I turned that CD on with my mom in that room. But she took that shit back and promptly got me the Shaq CD. So I was bumping "You Can't Stop the Rain" with Biggie all damn day. And as I was mad as fuck, I ended up with the Shaq CD. And I had Snoop Dogg, the Dogfather. I was heavily disappointed. But yeah, so that was like me at 9. So I was already like, hey, Mom, will you buy this CD for me? Yeah, so it was a problem. I was always in love with hip hop, rap. This Is How We Do It was like my favorite song when I was 5. Gangsta's Paradise was the first song I memorized when I was like 5 or 6. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been laughing and blasting so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. Yeah, that's my shit. Shout out to Coolio for real. I love that song. I would rap it on the playground with my friend. I listened to it as much as I could on the radio. Back when you had to like put a tape in the tape deck, and then when the song came on the radio, push record and catch it, and then you could listen to that mug all day. Like, that's how we made real mixtapes. That's why they're called mixtapes to any of y'all kids out here. Speaking of kids, my kids picked up a corded phone at my mom's house and was like, is this a real phone or something? Is this supposed to be a phone or something? I was like, yeah, it's like the realest phone there is. Like, it was funny. Oh yeah, but I was talking about like my connection to music. So yeah, I grew up listening to like underground music, High school got into like Mac Dre heavy. Tech Nines from Kansas City. Always fucked with Tech. Like from the very, very beginning. Got Tech's our autograph twice later on in his career. Like when he was starting to blow up more for other people to know him a lot. Like once he was making absolute power was the second time I got his autograph. But yeah, I just remember like going up to what was it? FYE. It wasn't FYE at the time though, but it's FYE now. But we were going up to FYE and waiting there for Tech to pull up and get your autograph signed and buy his album. Them shits were dope. My cousin used to take me to do hella shit. My older cousins like showed me the ropes. So much game when I was like a kid, and all I did was like soak it up. So I was always like mad wise beyond my years. Yeah, they showed me the ropes. They let me do a lot of stuff. That stuff was wild. Um, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. So, like, who am I? It's like, first, I'm like Mike C, the dad, super dedicated dad, work 40 hours a week, all that stuff. A lot of time home with the kids, coach basketball for the kids, coach soccer, coach whatever they need, really, be an assistant coach on any team that they're on. People say I hover, I guess. I try not to be too on top of everything they do. Try to give them a little bit of freedom and whatnot. But I lost 2 kids at a very young age due to like pregnancy complications and stillbirth and negligence of a doctor and a lot of stuff, but that's for another time. But I don't know, I've always been like a vastly compassionate dude, I guess, or something like that. Mike C, the artist, is a dude that wants to like create thought-provoking music through like the medium of hip-hop. Like I just want people to think more while I say some dope-ass shit. So there's like always hidden bars. If you think I said something referencing something, I probably did. And if I didn't, then it's really cool that you thought that shit anyways. Because, like, I try to connect the dots with, like, so much word association while I'm rapping that if you feel like there's bars between bars and, like, associations between bars, whether it's the 1st and 8th bar and, like, the 3rd and 15th, like, I do that. So I love that. I love artists that do that. I love re-listening to songs, and you're like, dang, I didn't even catch that. Like Lupe was really on his shit. Like I'll listen to Tupac songs like still to this day and be like, dang, he said that. Like I'll listen to Tupac songs and realize he inspired me so much that I have bars just like that. Like written, like saying what he's saying without those words. You know what I'm saying? Like the sentiment of those bars. Like I've like internalized them so much that I write shit like that. I'll be like, oh dang, this is like this nigga's whole being coming out my mouth. Like, but I feel like all artists do that. Like every artist that I've come in contact with through like out my life and has like inspired me, whether it was like a Talib Kweli or a Mos Def or a Common or a Mac Dre or like Lil Wayne in his early years or a Kanye or like a Nori or a Cameron or like a 8 Ball and Jim MJG or like a Nappy Roots. Like, man, so many different artists. Like the first time I heard Too Short, it just blew my mind, and it was some crazy CD. I don't even remember what CD it was. What was it called? Getting It or something. That might not even be the name of a Too Short album. I'm about to look it up. It was crazy. And then like at that time I didn't even know it was the same dude that sang like I wish I was a little bit taller. Like, and that might even be the album that was on. But I was a kid though. Yeah, getting it. Oh, it was a whole song. Oh, that's a what? Yeah, alright. Yeah. I That's what's up. But yeah, I just grew up on music, always loved music. Um Anything that I could like take with me and like make me a stronger, better like person, I would like quickly grab onto that. Uh Freestyling with my friends. My best friends were like my greatest inspiration besides like my favoriteest rappers, but like rapping with them, finding my voice growing up where we grew up when I felt like I had no voice, to be able to place my words in a speech with my homies was just, it was everything. At a time when we felt like we had nothing. Um, so I like still try to embody all of that. Like that is my essence at the core. It's like rapping is a way of me fulfilling my purpose to connect to people. But I'm realizing that I always did it throughout my life, and I kind of pigeonholed myself into thinking that it should be vastly through the medium of hip hop rather than just the medium of me. So, part of putting the rubber to the road and you guys being able to see where the rubber and the road meets is me just choosing to do what I've always been called to do, which is express myself to people and hopefully like connect to someone to like enrich someone's life for the better. Because I mean, really, we're all just here to, I don't know, to find a better way to exist. For real. No matter what you believe, no matter what religion you believe, it is to better the people around you and bring them to something better as well, whether you think it's just the eternal life or if it's all the life lessons that were supposed to be uh, shown to people through your life, which would grant you to warrant an eternal one, I guess, if that's what, if you think about it logically, I guess. But I'm like, even if that's not what you believe, like to each his own, but like move with the mantra of not doing anything to hurt your neighbor. Why should I do anything to hurt anyone else? And we should be all right. Whether you think different or not, nothing I do should be impeding on you. And if we extrapolate that to so many things, I feel like it would be way better off. Now, of course, it just sounds like Zen and utopia because everyone, there's always going to be some sort of bad, I guess. But I just choose not to acquiesce to it. And hopefully, the more and more and more and more you be better while staying ready to deter the bad, then you will be better. But you can't be better and acquiesce to the bad because you don't really care to speak about it. And it's not that people can't have fun and that people can't do things and that people should be canceled. It's just that people should learn rather than doubling down on the side of ignorance. But at the same time, people shouldn't be demonized. So I get it. But at the same time, people shouldn't be celebrated for fuck shit. So I get it. And at the same time, people have been celebrated for fuck shit. So I completely get it. But at the same time, some people try to take narratives and run with it so that they can be on some weak, soft butthole bullshit. So I'm like, I get it. But at the same time, everybody has to move. So you can't stop everything because of the very random things on the fringe. Like they will be dealt with as they come, and other than that, you keep it moving. You can't stop the show because there's some sort of like wasted energy coming from a certain section of stuff. Like you just acknowledge it, see what's wrong with it, try to talk to it, and try to speak to it, and try to get it moving. And other than that, you keep it going. But you can't like just hold up everything for that one instance of being. But yeah, somehow that was me talking about Mike C, the artist. Either way, I'm done with that. I'm just going to go through a few announcements. Attack on Titan, the final season, started. I watched like the first episode, and it was confusing. But there's a time jump, and I don't read the manga, and my homies is like, bro, you better read the manga, and I haven't, and they've been telling me that since they showed me the very first episode. So, it's alright, Nico, but don't tell me what's going to happen, and I know that they probably left some shit out, but I'm going to have to just wait. It's the final season, though, of Attack on Titan. I love anime. I like books. I love hip-hop. I like deep movies. I like some action movies. I mean, I like action movies, too, because you can just watch them. But, like, I love cinematography. Anything that, like, can hold my interest. If it's thought-provoking, I'm going to watch it. It just better not suck once at the end. Like, if you hold me through a 3-hour movie, I better be able to roll with it. I really like Tenet. Tenet was dope. Actually, I'm about to watch that mug again tonight after I'm done doing this podcast. Tenet was dope. Like, I like Shutter Island a lot. Inception was good. The Dark Knight's one of my favorite movies. Friday's one of my favorite comedies. Superbad's one of my favorite comedies. Like, Friday and Superbad are, like, my two favorite comedies, probably. Like, if I'm in a bad mood, I'm turning them mugs on. And then, like, Chappelle Show is, like, the greatest TV show of all time. Yeah, Chappelle Show was amazing. The Wire was dope. The Sopranos was dope. Like, these are, like, the types of things that I liked. But I liked, like, the Rugrats, too. And then, like, I would legit watch Barney as a kid, just, like, chilling at the house. Just, like, after watching a whole bunch of murder shit on TV, I'd be like, bro, like, this shit's poisoning my mind. And I would hella turn on Barney for, like, 30 minutes. And then I'd go back to doing whatever I was doing. But I'd be like, bro, I gotta cleanse my head real quick. That shit's funny. My spirit's kind of always been like that. Man, what else did I used to watch, though? Oh, like the Jersey, like the famous Jet Jackson. Like, that was my stuff growing up. Wild West Cowboys of Moon Mesa, SWAT Cats. Dang, what else did I... Oh, X-Men, Bobby's World, Doug, Rocco's Modern Life. I ain't never liked Ren and Stimpy, for real. Like, everybody liked that stuff, and I just thought it was, like, vastly gross. Like, Ren and Stimpy made my, like, 7-year-old skin crawl. I'd be like, ugh, that's gross. Look at the soap. Soap's all hairy. Yeah, stuff grossed me out. Like, I always put myself into moments and shows that I'm watching. So, like, when that stuff would be popping off, I was like, man, I'd knock a dude out. And they tried to feed me that. Oh, man. I wouldn't let that fat dude serve me a burger. And not because he's fat, but because he looked very sloppy, like he had sweated in the hot dog or burger, whatever it was. They'd be ordering some sketchy stuff. Like, what is that, hairy ice cream? Man. Anyways, Ren and Stimpy was not for me. I guess I was a weenie. So I wasn't fucking with it, bro. Man, what else did I used to watch? Oh, like Beetleborgs. You know what I'm saying? Are You Afraid of the Dark? Pete and Pete. Harriet the Spy. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm just like dating myself. That's my age. So, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Legends of the Hidden Temple. Wild and Crazy Kids. Double Dare. Man, I went to Nickelodeon and got gacked. Like, I swear they used to, like, film the show while you were in the park. Like, it was crazy. Like, you got to go to the real set of, like, Double Dare. Because it was, like, right there inside of wherever that was. That was wild, though. Like, just being back then, I guess. A little slower world. A little more time to be innocent. I watched The Social Dilemma. See, now I'm just about to start jumping because now I'm just kind of like rolling. I watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix. It was really good. I'm gonna butcher like what it's about, but it's basically about how like the AI in tech is just it's trying to maximize your time on the platform, so it's gonna show you whatever is going to keep you there longer, and in its mind, or no, through what it actually knows, is that stuff that is jarring to you will keep you there longer, because that's what our mind runs off of. So they'll hit you with crazy ass videos, and just random stuff, so it starts like fucking with people's heads over time or something like that. They explain it way better than me. Check it out. It's A Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix. It's a bunch of people way smarter than me. It's like the people that started Netflix and all that stuff. So don't take my word for it. Take theirs. Like, go check it out. They did the research. And they created the systems. So they know what they're talking about. So, like, I'm the type of person that looks at the facts and like ascertains what's going on. So I don't know, I guess I'm more of a realist per se. But I want the best for all people. So I want people to have health care and be able to eat and all that stuff. Especially in the greatest country in the world. And I feel like our officials should be doing more for the people rather than doing what they do. Because they'll vote raises for themselves all the time, like in Congress. But when it's to help the people, things are few and far between. Like Congress has interests in the corporate realm, which doesn't make sense much for people because corporations are not citizens. Although citizens work for corporations, corporations are not citizens. So no senator of any state should have more interest in a corporation that is in his state than the citizens in his state, because the corporation can never elect you. Period. So the fact that corporations can fund all that money really doesn't make sense. It kind of undermines the people in the sense that if you're in office because I vote you in, why should you be able to get paid to have alliances anywhere? That makes no sense. Your alliance should be to the majority of the voters that got you in. So when they tell you what you need to be doing, you need to be listening to the people of your state that are telling you as their elected senator what you need to be doing. I think I said that right. It sounded good when it was coming out my mouth. I mean, as long as it's within law. So, or you'll be finding your way out the door. That's how that works. I'm not a big political guy. I feel like both sides of our political spectrum have done bad things. I feel like one side's more interested in corporations and one side's more interested in people. So I don't think that wearing a mask is a big infringement on your freedom, because you're free to go catch COVID. But wearing a mask was to be an infringement on COVID-19. It was to actually up your quality of life, not lower it. I don't want anyone to end up with pre-existing conditions from COVID, so we should all be really safe. But thanks for watching. That's about 45 minutes. That's really good. It's not bad for my first episode, I guess. Thanks for watching Where the Rubber Meets the Road. I am Mike C. I will be back. Until the next time you hear from me, you stay safe and you take care of yourself. Peace and much love.